Hi, I'm Sherry Harris, owner of LifeSource Water. Do you know all Bay Area cities add chemicals like chlorine and chloramines to your tap water? At LifeSource, we believe your water should support your family's health. Our whole house system delivers filtered water from every tap, even your showers. For 40 years, we've built our systems right here in California. It's our summer sale. Save up to $1,000 when we pay your sales tax. Hurry, offer ends July 4th. Call our factory at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com.
Warranty limitations apply.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of our AM Minnesota program. Every second Monday of the month, we try to visit with someone from Riverbend Nature Center here in Faribault, the not-so-hidden gem on Faribault's east side. We get double the pleasure this morning. Molly Dulka and Brad Born join me from Riverbend Nature Center this morning. Molly is, good golly, the Associate Director of Programs at Riverbend, and Brad is the Executive Director. So I've got the head honcho here.
Good morning, Gordy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. It's we're joining you from Riverbend this morning. It's just kind of too beautiful of a day to come to the station. No offense, but it's always good to see you.
Well, I got to tell you, we're an extreme heat advisory. I don't know why they have to issue those, to be honest. I think people have the sense to know when it's hot or not, but that's what they've issued until 9 o'clock Thursday. An extreme heat warning all the way through 9 o'clock on Thursday, but there's lots of shade there at Riverbend.
That's exactly right, and we've got plenty of fun things to do. We've got ways for stay hydrated, the building itself conditions, so people need to take a break and cool off. We're still a fun place to be. We also want people to be safe, too. So you're taking care of yourself if you're going outside today.
Yeah, make sure you're hydrated, put on sunscreen, all that good stuff. Well, Molly, you got a program coming up you want to publicize here?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our annual meeting coming up. That is on Thursday, the 23rd of July. So social hours starts at 5 from 5 to 6, and we'll have a paint dinner. People can come learn all about what we've been up to for the past year, and then we will be looking to elect our candidates to directors. And then after that, we have a really special program about Minnesota moth surveys, where people can learn all about how scientists survey moths and learn more about Minnesota moths, which is really, really exciting. We're really excited for that program.
Do you know how many varieties of moths we have?
That's one of the things I'm really excited to learn about.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Tomazin is going to be the guest instructor that night, so we're really excited to learn from him.
Well, I suppose, there aren't as many moths nowadays. I recall when I was a kid, we had a lot of moths.
Yeah, and I'm sure, the species have changed, things like that as well, and so I'm excited to hear kind of his whole career and how things might have changed.
Yeah, same with butterflies. I don't remember. Gosh, I remember mowing the yard. There were butterflies flying all over the place.
Yeah, we've noticed quite a bit too. A lot of times species decline due to a variety of reasons, but one of those main things is the lack of green space and lack of food sources. So we want to make sure that we're, taking care of our natural systems and providing habitat for them.
Well, I was just going to bring that up. Back when I was a kid, I remember in our ditches, the state owned the ditches, right? The state of Minnesota. Mm-hmm. In their infinite wisdom, they got rid of all the cattails and everything. Well, it wasn't long after that you didn't see as many butterflies.
Yeah. The ditches do provide habitat, even though people might not it. And so it is important to still have that natural space and those natural plants.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, wisdom has its own cycle, and it's very cyclical. You start seeing, more, I'm not an expert on this by any means, but even near riverbed, seeing, the corridor more pollinatorly, when I was a kid, it was just, grass seed that was put down on freeways, and there's a lot more, thought now in all those green spaces that are on the sides of roads, do serve an ecosystem. So it's kind of nice to see some of that knowledge come, even though we're not fully there yet.
Yep, the nature wonder world of Riverbend Nature Center. People need to, if you've never been up there, folks, I would highly recommend you stop by. It's a fantastic place. Your memberships are up, I would assume?
Yeah, we're a membership-based organization. We are free and open to the public, but we absolutely rely on the support of members. Memberships range as low as $40, and then we have household memberships all the way up to $1,000. It's a voluntary membership. Every dollar got in helps us help support and do the important conservation work at the Nature Center, the important environmental education and recreation program that Molly leads and keeps the Nature Center going. There's you'd said we're sort of a hidden gem in Faribault, and with that comes oftentimes some misperceptions. And there's a misperception often in the community that the Nature Center is simply a public park like other parks and receive tax dollars to support our daily operation. And everything that happens at Riverbend, whether it's the educational program, whether it's the conservation work that we do over the 823 acres, is all done by volunteers and donors, and with very little tax. So membership is a great way to step up and support the Nature Center if it's a big part of your life.
Yeah, it was about a year ago, wasn't it, that you expanded?
Yeah, almost exactly a year ago, Gordy. We received a donation of land from the Trust for Public Land and a neighbor just outside of adjacent from the Nature Center. We received a donation of about 40 acres. It is non-contiguous today with the Nature Center. It's just across the county road on our south side. But that's about a 40-acre parcel that's going through a multi-year restoration process where we are retiring an old apple orchard and returning the land into a combination, restoring it to a combination of hardwoods and prairies, and that takes a lot of work. And so you'll go out there today. We do have a trailhead and a extremely modest trail network or trail system, but it's open to the public and it's a fun and beautiful site. It does still today look a little bit more agricultural than green space, but it's a multi-objective that will take a lot of hands. Okay.
Are there still apples there that I can munch on?
I think the deer are getting to most of them, but there are still quite a few. There are still quite a few apple-bearing trees on site, and those haven't been ready yet. So, but we do ask that folks leave the vegetation to the animals, or work with River on some of that hard still.
Well, they may not be really good eating apples either. Who knows?
I believe they were some of the most delicious when the land was being used agriculturally. So, but today they are for the enjoyment of the deer.
I mean, the deer don't really care whether it's a baking apple or right?
I think that's right.
I don't think they care if it's a baking apple or not at all. Oh, man.
Gordy, I was just going to say, asking us about the insured it really just highlights the do with a lot of different partners across the region to both protect the acreage of Riverbend, to make a greener community, but also be good educate environmental stewards. And we do so much work. Coming out and today, you'll see an expansion of acreage. You'll see a lot of work to remove some invasive species and do some native plantings to the Nature Center. We're doing a lot of work in partnership with the Minnesota Zoo to help migratory birds, and that's a fun project that we've been working on. Just about 3 or 4 weeks back, we've been in installation of what is called a MOTUS tower, MOTUS. It's a bird monitoring tower that is part of a network across North America. We did this in partnership with the Minnesota Zoo that tracks migratory birds across the entire country, and we are a critical spot in that network in southern Minnesota. And it's super fun. Like, you can go to motus.org and you can look up Riverbend's tower, and you can see avian life that has traveled across the continent and made it stop at Riverbend. And it just really highlights the work that we're doing just beyond Faribault, and it's really fun to be part of. And Molly and her staff do a lot of work for caring for our 803 acres here to be part of just a larger network of kindness and environmentalists across the country.
Very cool. I got to take a break now. We'll look at our opening market report, courtesy of your KDHL Agri-Boosters, and we'll continue our conversation with Molly Dulka and Brad Born from Riverbend Nature Center. Our opening market report, a service, as I mentioned, of the KDHL Agri-Boosters, Craig Keller at the Keller Insurance Agency, Werner Farm Seed Dundas, and NorthlandBuildings.com.
Good morning. It's time for the market update on this Monday morning on the Linder Farm Network. Chicago corn and soybeans are higher at this hour. Joining us, Jim Emter, Van On & Company, Alexandria. And Jim, what's giving markets some support today?
Yeah, we saw a nice overnight market extended, gapped higher, and now we see some sellers show up. That shouldn't be a surprise. We're into some key price counts here. We continue to look at this 466 to 475 area as key retracement type levels. That is the 50 and 62% retracement from high to low on that setback we had in June, and then correction back here during the month of July. So hot, dry weather, one of the features around. Obviously, demand, China in here for another 136,000 metric tons this morning. Managed money bought back last week, a reasonable amount. I mean, when you look to it here, funds are now back long 12,000 contracts of corn, 68,000 contracts of soybeans. So they have ample room to go either direction here, Linda, as things shake out. But I think it's going to be the weather front, what happens after July 24th and beyond. That's going to be a key factor. Inflation number, CPI coming out tomorrow. And then obviously this escalation between Ukraine and Russia, number one, got the grain markets up on Friday and creates an edginess over the weakness. When you couple that with the U.S.-Iran front escalating, Linda, it's a very unnerving time. So we're going to have to watch closely, see where we're at. But price counts, again, 466 to 475 Dees corn, just add the carry to take a look at those deferred months. And beans, 1210 and 1250 are the two key price counts we would zone in on.
What are you tracking with livestock markets today?
Yeah, the underlying tone here, Linda, we're at a make or break spot. Again, we're below the 40-day. We're below some of the key moving averages. We're below and approaching BPOCs on a monthly chart. I mean, this is an area that needs to hold, Linda, our cattle market take a pretty ugly fall apart here. And so far, we're trying to hold up this morning and bounce back. When you look to the cutout levels, that was up 187 choice. The select's up 484. So again, if we can keep cash undertones around this market, that'd be a good thing. Last week we faded, and that was a reason for pressure. Hogs over 100 in the August. If we get that close, that's an important trade there, Linda.
Thank you, Jim. Jim Emter, Van Awning Company, Alexandria. And Chicago's September corn 444 and a quarter, up 4 3/4. December 466 3/4, up 5 3/4. August beans 1197 and a quarter, up 5 1/2. September up 5 3/4. November 1196, up 5 1/4. And August soybean meal down 190. August soybean oil up 208. September Chicago wheat down 1. Minneapolis September wheat 649 3/4, down 2 3/4. Live cattle August 235.35, up 15. October 231.40, now up 90 at 231.50. And August feeder cattle up 270. August lean hogs up 110. October up 45. The Dow Industrial Average down 68. And you're listening to the Linder Farm Network.
Every single time someone drives by, there it is again. Dust everywhere. On your truck, your windows, your porch. Now you're holding your breath just to grab the mail. Well, no more. With DustLock, one application controls dust on unpaved roads, driveways, parking lots, even construction sites and ag facilities. Own a dealership? Let's stop washing your inventory every week. DustLock keeps your lot clean and customer ready. And yes, it's environmentally safe too. Take back your road and visit dustlock.com. DustLock. We handle the dust.
The Minnesota State Cattlemen invite you to the 2026 Annual Summer Beef Tour and Trade Show Tuesday, July 14th, hosted by the Southwest Cattlemen and Minnesota State Cattlemen's Association. Registration begins at 6:30 a.m. at the Lyon County Fairgrounds in Marshall. They'll be touring several local farms and businesses. Registration is available at the door starting at 6:30 a.m. with buses leaving 7:30 to 7:45 a.m. Registration includes 2 meals and a trade show. Don't miss this great event Tuesday, July 14th in Marshall.
That's an update on the Linder Farm Network.
AM Minnesota on the mighty 920 KDHL.
Our AM Minnesota program today, we're visiting with Molly Dulka, who is the Associate Director of Programs, and the Executive Director of Riverbend, Brad Born. They're joining me by telephone from Riverbend this morning, Riverbend Nature Center. What are your hours out there, folks?
Yeah, we are open on Mondays from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., Tuesdays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and then Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then that's the building hours for our trails. The trails are open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. So you have to be out of Riverbend by 10 o'clock at night.
Correct. Yep.
I assume you got cameras up and everything to monitor all that?
Yeah, yep, we do. And then the police occasionally will come just drive down the road and turn around. They enjoy the scenery, too. Patrols.
Brad, maybe you could help me with this. I know that you folks were hoping to get some funding from the state for a new building there, right? New interpretive center?
Yes, the state of Minnesota is a really important partner to Riverbend. We do quite a bit of work with the DNR. We do quite a bit of work with other state agencies to carry out some of our work. As the Nature Center has been growing and expanding, we're kind of bursting at the seams in terms of like folks that want and need to use the space. We have the last couple of sessions had some bills introduced to do some initial capital funding research for the Nature Center to help us do figure out how much of a building we can afford on our own, what designs would look like. We keep taking it at that. A lot of that work at the legislature is session after session, and we're just continuing to work on that.
So that's nowhere now. Is that what I'm hearing?
Further than nowhere, but not a lot of reportable progress as of today. It's something that is if the Nature Center is going to be here for another 45 years, serving a community that is growing every day, we do need some investment and some infrastructure, and we are looking and hoping for some help from our partners at need.
So it sounds like you might need to do kind of a fundraiser with your members.
I think that's right. Again, going back to what I said earlier, with Riverbend being very much a coalition of supporters, there is, unless one of your listeners, there's nobody that is going to come in and just put the funds for an entire new facility in our lap. We would welcome that, of course, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to be I'm going to ask you for a check after this call, Gordy. It's going to be a lot of folks making contributions. We're hoping the state will be part of that. We're hoping our members will be part of that, and everybody we talk to understands the importance of that investment, and they understand that we're in a facility that's coming up on 50 years old, that was built to last 35 years, and that we're doing our best with what we have, and people see that. But it's going to take it will take some time, Gordy.
Sure. So if I wanted to donate, and if I wanted to donate in memory or honor of somebody, is that possible, or do you have a policy there where you're not going to name buildings after people?
Gordy, you're so good at this part of your job, and thank you for reminding us. You can go to rbnc.org/donate here, and there are a number of ways to make contributions to the Nature Center beyond the members you talked about. We do have a few different memorial programs for folks. If somebody wants to make a donation in honor of a loved one that's no longer here, those range from a few $100s up to a few $1,000s. There are, on occasion, we'll do, if the nature has a very specific need, we will talk about in recognition through different dedications of amenities. We have just near our entrance road, we are constructing a welcome ADA accessible welcome pavilion near one of our trailheads that in a few weeks will be dedicated to a family in honor of a family that made a significant contribution to Riverbend over the years. We're not talking about that name on the radio today because there's just a couple of, we just want to make sure that it rolls out with the family. But we do a lot of work with that. If the Nature Center was important to somebody and they want to recognize that after they're gone, with families all the time, to something that aligns with their wishes and their family's wishes. And it's such an honor when people choose to be remembered and choose to remember their loved ones with a gift to Riverbend that way.
Yeah, I asked that because I know there are some places that have a policy that they don't want to name. Well, actually, our own city says they didn't want to name Viaduct Park after a person because they're going to shy away from that because you never know what's in somebody's closet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's obviously a complicated conversation, and it's complicated complicated conversations across the entire country and across every community, and every one of those conversations is incredibly unique and incredibly sensitive and at times incredibly raw. So we just do our best to meet folks where they're at and have those conversations with families that make sense when they do.
Say, Molly, you got any other programs coming up you want to get the word out on?
Yeah, absolutely. We are partnering with Rotary Club. They have a camp out on Cedar Lake, and we are partnering with them to offer some family camp programs. Family camp is a great opportunity for adults to come out with their kids or grandkids and enjoy some camp activities for the day and not have to worry about, is there going to be supplies? We don't know how to do certain activity. We'll teach you all about it. So those are the Fridays in August, and then the first in September. And what makes this even more incredible is that it is free for people to register.
What?
So you can register.
Did you say free?
Free, yes. So it's a partnership with Rotary Club, and so they are helping to fund it and providing the sites. They are on a lake, which provides a little bit more opportunity for canoeing and fishing than here at Riverbend, and so we're really excited to and be able to kind of showcase that location and then teach people some really fun camp activities who might not otherwise be able to, or have the knowledge or access to it.
Oh, so, I've been out there before. It's a very nice place.
Yeah. So we're really excited. Each Friday has a different theme, so people could sign up for one day or every Friday. They really enjoy it. Again, folks, it's the best four-letter word in the English language other than love. Absolutely free, F-R-E-E, free. You don't get that every day of the week, so take advantage of that. You have any Looking at the Stars events coming up this summer? You know, we do not. I believe that next one is sometime in September. I don't have that date in front of me. But those registrations, you can find those through Mike Lynch's website directly, or through the city of Faribault's website. We've partnered with the city for those programs. So. Yeah, I'm thinking when I retire.
But if you want to check it, Gordy, if you want to check out Riverbend after hours or in the evening, again, our July 23rd program, our Minnesota Moms program, is bring a flashlight, and it will be a fun way to. You'll see some stars, but we'll be looking for moths while we're outside. Oh, okay. Sounds like a lot of fun. You know, I just saw we've got five monitors in here, 5 television screens, streaming various things. It's all news sites in the KDHL studio. And I just saw, I didn't know, you guys seen the video of this bison that attacked this person at Yellowstone Park? I heard about it on the radio. Oh, my word. I just saw the video. They just showed the video of this guy. He's literally running for his life. He's 65, so he's a little younger than me. 65. He's actually doing pretty good, but eventually the bison tracks him down. Yeah. They're a large animal. Yeah. For sure. Well, I think, Gordy, it's just a reminder in our work, too. Like, Molly and I work really hard to make nature closer and more accessible, but we also have to respect it, too. And nature, we have to be nature while keeping ourselves safe, too, and just being aware that sometimes they don't want to be as close to us as be to it. So. Right, and you that's why I brought that up, is you haven't got bison in your park, thank heavens, nothing that big or quite that dangerous, right? No, yeah, that's right. The bison herds, I believe, would be Minneopa State Park. That's over by Neo. Yep. As well as Spring Lake Park. Now and that's over near Hastings. You do have some snapping turtles there, right? Riverbend? Yes, we do have some snapping turtles. Thankfully, they're a lot slower than a bison. That's for sure. It's not going to run you down. Yeah. You're right. I was asked, somebody texted me, and I guess I never even thought to ask you this. I'm guessing it's not true. They wanted to know if there are any poisonous snakes in Riverbend. There are not. I didn't think so. The only snake that's in Minnesota is the timber rattlesnake, and that is even further southeast. Correct. Than we in the state. So. Yep, you'll find some of that in Houston County. Maybe on the east end of Fillmore County. I grew up in Fillmore County.
Okay.
Right, but no rattlers around here.
Nope, no around here.
Yeah.
Probably the most common snake that you would see here is the garter snake, as well as fox snakes.
Yeah. Well, you folks have a great rest of the day. I'm looking forward to visiting with you in another month.
Thank you so much.
Gordy, it was so nice being on. Thanks for the invitation.
Hey, you bet. Molly, Dulka, and Brad Born from Riverbend Nature Center this morning on our KDHL AM Minnesota program. Stay cool, everybody.